And that is right. March Madness has officially begun, and we are so excited to talk a lot about it here on the Morning Blitz this week. And you're joined alongside, obviously, the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery, and me, John Abraham, Captain Cool. And although, we might not know every single detail about every single team that's in this tournament, we probably will be able to know just as much as, well, some of the experts do, because anything can truly happen during March Madness, and we're going to have a lot of fun trying to discuss our brackets. Bandy, I see you're over there holding down that mic yet again. How are you doing going into this week, brother?
I'm doing good. I mean, coming off a great slate of college basketball,
Oh, yeah.
I can narrow it down further to SEC basketball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was
this has me feeling good going into this week.
Definitely a heck of a week. I was tuning in every once in a while. Obviously, I was watching a few of the games. I tried to, get into a little bit of the final matchups, and I was at an Olive Garden at one point, and I was just like peeking at my phone every 5 seconds. But, I mean, it was interesting to see it all kind of pan out. That's how it is in all the different conferences. You get these surprise winners. You get some of the winners that, well, some of our experts were able to choose prior to the tournament starting. And the one guy that's going to be hopping on with us right away is one Mr. Drew DeArmond, one Mr. Expert that did choose the Auburn Tigers to go all the way and get that dub. Drew, how are you doing this fine week?
I'm doing well, guys. Went down to Nashville on Friday, saw some high-level basketball. As you guys know, I did pick Auburn to win it.
Yep.
I had them playing Kentucky, and Kentucky ran into Boots Radford, and just a really good, and of course Wade Taylor. Those two outstanding guards, just their guard play at A&M for that game was spectacular. But it was some high-level hoops, no doubt about it. But Auburn put together 3 really good days. I didn't think they were rewarded for it, though. I thought they deserved a 3 seed, in my opinion. But they got a 4, and they're in a brutal bracket with the 1 seed UConn, who's 31-3, defending national champs. And don't forget, we really didn't even talk about it on Talking Ball this morning, but the 8 seed there is Florida Atlantic, who brings back everybody who went to the Final Four last year and nearly played for the national title. Yes. So that the Florida Atlantic Owls are in that bracket. A very interesting Northwestern team, only the I think the second time they've ever made the big dance, and they play at interesting tempo under Chris Collins. And then we all know about San Diego State, what they did last year. They're the 5 there, and very likely could play Auburn. But San Diego State UAB game is contrasting styles. It's going to be fascinating. I'm probably going to pick San Diego State, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility that UAB could upset them. And what I know Auburn's got Yale and they have to respect their opponent, but I think Auburn will smoke Yale.
Yeah.
And I think that Auburn UAB game would be unbelievable for our state, first of all. And then it's amazing that for the second straight year, last year, Alabama and Auburn were both together in Birmingham. Alabama advanced. Auburn lost to a really, really good Houston team. I saw both those games, but crazy that all 3 of these teams from our state are out in Spokane, Washington, of all places, playing each in 2 different regionals, but but it's just in the West Regional and in this East. But Alabama and Auburn both have a chance to advance. I thought Alabama got a good draw considering they didn't play well in the SEC tournament. But a lot of what has ailed Alabama is their health. They did not have Rylan Griffin as his old self. He played, but he didn't start, and he was rusty. They need Rylan. He's as good a perimeter defender as they've got. He's also a double-digit scorer. They need him, and Latrell Wrightsell went out with a knee-to-knee late in the second half of the game as well. They need Latrell Wrightsell and Rylan Griffin to beat this talented Pat Kelsey Charleston team that, I'm going to be honest, guys, I mean, it's going to be one of the more exciting games you're going to watch. It may be the first team to 95 that wins. I like Alabama's chances, but then, after that, it's going to be tough. But all things considered, I thought Alabama got a more favorable draw, than even Auburn did.
Yeah.
I think Auburn can advance to the Sweet 16, and I'm picking them to. And then if they play UConn, wow, that would just be fascinating. because UConn's a heavyweight, but so is this Auburn team, and with their depth and the way they're playing. But Alabama, I think if they can lock in and put together 7 to 8 minutes of good defense, which this team is never going to play 40 minutes of great D, but if they can shoot the basketball the way they're capable of shooting it and get everybody back, I think in the pod that they've got over in Spokane, I think they can advance. It's certainly not going to be easy against St. Mary's, who's a really good West Coast Conference team. They like to play slower. They're big. But Alabama could speed them up. If Alabama can speed them up, score the ball, and play their pace, I think it could be Alabama could have a good shot against St. Mary's. Plus, it's no guarantee. Grand Canyon's dangerous. There's a lot of people going to pick Grand Canyon 29-4 under Bryce Drew, the former Vanderbilt coach, to beat this St. Mary's team. Grand Canyon plays at a very fast pace. That would be if Alabama played, first Charleston in advance and then played Grand Canyon. You're talking about 2 track meets, and that would be to Alabama's advantage. I think Alabama has the firepower, and hopefully when Nate Oates and his staff did this, they put together as tough a schedule as anybody played in college basketball out of conference. Hopefully that's going to help them as they go to Spokane as the 4 seed. And then don't forget Bucky McMillan and Sanford. This is if you're a basketball fan in our state, there's never been a better time to be a basketball fan. They're in the Midwest region. They're going to get the chance to play the Kansas Jayhawks, one of the most tradition-rich programs in the history of college basketball. But it's another chapter in the rise of Bucky McMillan, and very proud for Sanford and the opportunity that they have against a blue blood like Kansas. And Seth Davis, who has been covering college basketball for a long, long time for Sports Illustrated, now for CBS Sports, he picked the Sanford Bulldogs to beat the Kansas Jayhawks. And if that happens, it will be the biggest win in Sanford basketball history. And Bucky McMillan will become he's already a hot name.
Yeah.
But it will go to another level if they beat Kansas.
Oh, for sure about that, especially because Kansas is coming into this round. They have yet to lose one, I think, in the last 16 times that they've been into the round of 64. So that's also a huge storyline to take into account, and that's how a lot of this madness is created. You get the statistics that really just don't seem unbreakable, and then it just goes the opposite way. But I have to agree, Alabama against Charleston in the first game, that one's going to be a little bit back and forth. I think Alabama will take that one. But if they have to go up against the St. Mary's team, it really is going to be the opposite type of team that Alabama is, where it's heavy defense, little offense. I would say similar to maybe an Iowa type of team, except for, of course, there is some offense for the St. Mary's team, and I'm talking about Iowa's football team as well. But 8 SEC teams entered in to the big dance. Drew, do you think that was above your expectations, or do you think it was a little bit below, which I think would be hard to believe?
No, I knew after things played out the way they did going into the weekend. I thought the SEC had 6 that were locks, and they had 2 more that could play their way in. They both did. Texas A&M reached the semifinals, and Mississippi State did as well. Once they both did the damage that they did, winning 2 games, they both deserved to be in the tournament.
Yeah.
They proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. And then I saw it with my own eyes, with my eye test. I saw both those teams, and both those squads deserved to be in the dance. The SEC, to me, by the end of the season, now it wasn't the case going into the start of conference play or maybe even halfway through, but I think the way these 8 teams evolved, and we'll see the damage they do in March, but I thought by the end of the season the SEC was the best league, even better than the Big 12, and I know the Big 12 has Houston, and Iowa State laid waste to them in the Big 12 championship game, but I just think the SEC, that top 8 is as good as I've ever seen the conference, and we'll see what kind of damage they do in March, but I thought they deserved 8. The Big 12 got 8, so they tied for the most. Certainly, I think the Mountain West was under the radar all year. They got 6. But I really think some of these SEC teams can do some big time damage. I think Auburn is capable of going to the Final Four. I don't know if probably not going to pick them to go to the Final Four. It's going to be tough to beat that UConn squad, but they're capable of it. They have the weapons. Their guard play has improved. I think they can go on around. I think Alabama is capable of getting to the Sweet 16. I think Florida is a very dangerous 7 seed. The only problem with Florida that I worry about is that injury. because it's going to
Yeah.
affect their depth inside. And that Marquette squad with Shaka Smart, he's had the formula in the past for how to advance in March, but he's also lost to Abilene Christian. So this Western Kentucky squad, who was in our city and won the Conference USA Championship, I saw them play. They've got skill, they've got three-point shooting, they've got a big man inside who's a beast, and then they have really good point guard play. Marquette, I think Marquette should win that opening round game, but you better be ready because Steve Lutz, he's done a great job. He took Texas A&M Corpus Christi to the tournament last year, played Alabama, tough for a while in that game in that 1-16 matchup. Now he's back as a 15. It's the first time I think it's 2013 since Western Kentucky's made it. So, but again, there's a lot of fascinating matchups. But I do think if Florida can get past Boise State and Colorado, that Marquette-Florida game could be a really high-level game because it's two really good coaches. Todd Golden's done a great job, and that their guard play is really good, and Florida's huge. I mean, even with the injury, they've still got Tyrese Samuel inside. They've still got a lot of athleticism and talent. They've got really good guards. I think that Florida could make a run as well.
Well, for sure about that. And we will be talking to Adam Dubbin from Gators Wire later on in the show to kind of follow that storyline. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk with Joe Hunk to see his knowledge about his Auburn Tigers. Even though he covers Nashville sports, he's a big-time Auburn fan. And I think he graduated from Auburn, didn't he?
Yeah, so love that.
No,
UAH,
he went to UAH. He played
no,
baseball at
come on,
UAH.
went to UAH.
He's just a
He
huge
played
fan of
baseball.
Auburn. He's just a huge fan of Auburn. But we'll definitely be talking to him tomorrow and possibly Ryan Sylvia as well to get Tennessee's perspective. But a lot to look forward to for the SEC. Drew, we appreciate you hopping on with us to kind of take a first look at it. But whenever Wednesday comes, that's whenever we're finally going to see some teams on the court. That's whenever it's going to feel a little bit more real, and we cannot wait to talk with you then. Anything before we let you go?
Yeah, man. There's breaking news out of UAH. They've had a change at basketball coach. John Schulman, who's been here for the last 5 years, filling the huge shoes of the Gulf South Conference Hall of Famer, the UAH Hall of Famer, the winningest coach in Gulf South Conference history, Lenny Acuff, who did such an amazing job for his 22 years at UAH. He has, of course, been at Lipscomb the last 5 years. John Schulman filled those shoes, went to 5 straight NCAA tournaments, but he will be taking over as the head basketball coach at Central Arkansas. UAH's season came to an end with another NCAA tournament run. They lost to Embry-Riddle on Saturday night, but a great, as Steve Moulton called it on on Talking Ball this morning, it was a Cinderella run. That team really finished playing well. It was sad that they couldn't get the W to maybe get another shot at Nova Southeastern in the second round on Sunday. But again, John Schulman going back to Division I basketball, and now they will be in the that UAH will be in the searching in the process for the next head basketball coach. But the beautiful thing about the last almost 30 years, what Lenny Acuff accomplished, what John Schulman did from as the torch was passed down and the baton is that kept UAH as one of the best Division II jobs in the country. It should be a job that's very, very attractive. And I'm sure they'll get the right fit. And if they can keep that roster together in the transfer portal era, it's tough. But if they can make the right move, certainly I think UAH can continue their success. And the interesting thing is, they're in the search for a women's coach too. Andrea Lemon stepped down after about a decade at the helm. So, when you look at it, this is an interesting time for UAH. Dr. Cade Smith, the athletic director, he took over a few years ago. He's going to have to make his first hire at men's basketball with this program. And then, of course, when you're looking at it, they're going to have to bring in, a women's coach. So it's two interesting hires for UAH, but it's a great place to work. It's a great place to be. They have great support. And we appreciate the relationship we had with John Schulman the last 5 years, featuring him on the show each week during UAH's great runs. But good luck to him at Central Arkansas. Good luck to the Schulman family. It's a basketball family, and we appreciate it. Also, Max and Tanner playing here. But it's going to be a very interesting next week or so, next several days for UAH athletics.
No doubt about that. We appreciate Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball joining us here on the Morning Blitz. But we got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to get into a little bit of stuff outside of the NCAA tournament. But then we're getting right back in with Adam Dubbin from Gators Wire. That's what's coming up here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The countdown to opening day is on, and the Atlanta Braves radio network is bringing you the biggest coverage from Florida as we gear up for the 2024 season. The Braves open the season Thursday the 28th on the road in Philadelphia as the hunt for a 7th straight division title begins. Then it's an epic home opener on Friday, April 5th against the Arizona Diamondbacks as Truist Park comes alive for Braves baseball.
What if I told you that Bigfoot is real and that he's making the best donuts you've ever had? Come see for yourself at Bigfoot's Little Donuts. Come in and order from over 50 flavors, all made hot and delicious. Ranked in the top 100 donut shops in the nation by Yelp. Bigfoot Little Donuts. Order in store or online at bigfootslittledonuts.com for pickup or delivery from Grub South or DoorDash. South Parkway, Huntsville, and County Line Road, Madison. Bigfoot's Little Donuts.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For your Monday, expect partly sunshine throughout the afternoon. High temperatures going to be a lot colder. It looks like we'll top out in the upper 40s. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. Heading into your Monday night, temperatures drop into the upper 20s. Wind chill values, though, will be between the teens and the low 20s. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
College football.
The ball is caught. It is a touchdown.
Major League Baseball.
That ball is gone. A home run.
This is your place for complete sports coverage all year long. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back into the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Cam Cool alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery. Hey, we got into a little bit of fun with one Mr. Drudy Armand to kind of set up for the NCAA tournament that is just so close. We can seriously taste it. And if you guys aren't into our Talent Heating and Air Bracket Challenge, make sure you check out our social medias so you can see that, see what prizes you'll get if you win. And also, just sign up because the tournament's literally starting in like 2 days. You know, I mean, I know it starts literally tomorrow with the first 4, but other than that, like it's starting, guys. It's starting. So get on your phones. If you're not driving, don't be driving, okay?
3 days.
And definitely sign up for that. Of course, the number one prize is going to be a pretty big one for anybody who loves golf. And number two prize is going to be a pretty big one for anybody who eats food. So I'm pretty sure that's everybody out there. But if you want to join in on the conversation, you can. 256-5764
977
is the number to get into the programming. And before we get into our conversation with Adam Dubbin from Gators Wire about this Florida Gators team that was able to make an exceptional run, even beating Alabama's basketball team yet again, 2 times in a row now. We're going to talk a little bit about what else is going on in the sports world, and a few things are going down, okay? As much as I want to just talk nonstop NCAA tournament action, there's a lot of other madness. Some of that madness would be like former Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields heading to the Steelers to help out Russell Wilson. And then, the guy that I thought that, the Steelers were going to try and build up in Kenny Pickett has been traded to the Eagles. So now he's out of that organization. So now it's Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. You get a little bit of multi-talented, versatile quarterbacks now in that system. It's a totally different team. This is a completely different team that we're looking at least in the quarterback perspective. All right? They're losing some of their wide receivers. That's totally fine. They're adding a lot of talent at the quarterback position. Now, the Browns are still going to be able to whoop that, but I'm still going to say that Justin Fields on the Steelers team